They're little, they're smelly, and they're thieves. We're talking about them today on the Radio Vet with Dr. Kelly. And we're back on the Radio Vet with Dr. Kelly for, almost the last week of March, or second to last week of March. Dr. Kelly's going to Florida, so we're going to have to cram a lot into this episode. We have to really get as much information out of her as we can. Yeah. And so for her final episode before her spring break, and we're going to talk about something just as wild as spring break, and that's ferrets.
Ferrets.
Oh, boy. Who doesn't love ferrets? I guess there might be somebody out there who doesn't, but
they're just so entertaining.
I would think they
have
would
high entertainment value.
Are you still an owner of? You were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How are they doing?
Oh, they're doing great. They are geriatric now, meaning they're over 3
oh my
years.
Do geriatric ferrets still have the same level of energy?
When they are feeling energetic, do they do the same things? Yes. Does it happen as often? Probably not.
Thankfully, no. I mean, no.
Ferrets normally sleep approximately 18 out of 24 hours.
Oh, I like them already.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, so, they and I are on the same schedule.
Similar to cats, they're great for people that work full time.
Right.
When you're gone, guess what? They're sleeping.
They're gone. Checked out. Well, give us some background information on our friends.
Nobody really knows exactly when they became domesticated, but it is believed that they were probably domesticated from the European polecat, which is still a creature out there. Yes. And probably approximately 2,500 years ago.
Wow.
I know. They're still used in some places to hunt rabbits.
Okay.
And they were probably even used by the Romans for hunting.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. And, there are sayings in our language like to ferret out something.
Right.
Yeah. And so ferrets are very good at diving down holes and tunnels and, grabbing something and dragging it out.
Are they related somewhat to the mongoose?
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought so.
They are related to the North American black-footed ferret, of course, which is an endangered species, skunks, otters, mink, weasels, badgers, polecats, and yes, the mongoose. Yes.
If you talk to a cynical person, they say, boy, there's a nice list of vermin.
Yeah. These are tough animals. I mean, they badgers.
Oh, yeah, no, let's not tangle with those guys. And let's not even try to domesticate them, please.
Wolverines are in that group, too.
Oh, yeah, they're a lot of fun.
They are anywhere from 1 to 5 pounds. Females are very small compared to males. They live about 5 to 8 years, and yes, they're considered elderly at 3 to 4.
Okay, all right,
so
excellent.
Not real long life.
Yeah. You have more than one or two? How do you?
I've only ever had 2 at a time.
Okay.
And I don't think I've ever had one live past 5.5. Unfortunately, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's a very good background overview. Mm-hmm. I asked about the mongoose because when you were describing, I was thinking of that great old cartoon Ricky Tikki Tavi, who took on the snakes as a great old. Not everybody, not everybody's seen it clearly, but it's one of my favorite cartoons, and very ferret-like. So if a family's thinking of going the ferret route,
the ferret route, what's good to know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So ferrets, generally, the vast majority of pet ferrets in the United States come from a place called Marshall Farms. Okay. So if you were to go to a pet store, you'd probably find Marshall Farms ferrets. Okay. They, if they are from Marshall Farms, they have a double dot tattoo on one of their ears.
Really?
Yes. One dot is for being spayed or neutered.
Oh, sure.
And the other dot is for being descented.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, and what descented means is they remove their anal glands or anal sacs, which
God bless them.
Are what skunks have that they spray at you.
Indeed, indeed, absolutely.
Now, ferrets will still smell musky because normal ferrets have skin oil and it happens to have an odor. But they have a lot less odor. when they're
Sans
decented,
glands.
and actually mainly they have less odor when they're spayed or neutered. That's really what controls their odor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is the hormones.
Do you have to bathe them? Does it help?
I think it does help. I always bathe mine approximately once a month. If it
Really?
was more than that, I think they'd get dry and itchy, and they'd make even more skin oil, which would backfire. But
do they enjoy the bathing process?
some really do enjoy swimming. You know, you can go on YouTube and see videos of people's pet ferrets swimming in the bathtub.
I'm going to after the show now. Yes, thank you.
It's very entertaining. There's so many entertaining ferret videos.
I don't
out
watch
there.
nearly enough, and I need some smiles today. So you set me down a really good path. There.
I've never had one that enjoyed being bathed, but I obviously see evidence of them all the time on YouTube.
You're not bloody after the process, are you?
Oh no, definitely not.
Oh,
no,
good.
Ferrets. That's a good point to bring
Lead
up.
in.
Ferrets do play rough with each other.
Sure.
But they almost never, ever break skin.
Oh, plus,
But when they wrestle with each other, they use their teeth.
Yeah.
But they tend not to ever break skin.
So it's like when my dog and I are goofing around, and they just kind of mouthy and everything.
Somehow it's harder though, man. they're pretty rough.
Yeah.
They
could be fun, yeah.
They do have tough skin,
Okay.
similar to like an intact tomcat. Their skin is. I've bent needles trying to give them shots because their skin is pretty tough.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
Yeah, they are tough.
Man, I wish I was a ferret. I'm starting to enjoy it. I know. I really want to be like that.
Don't you want to get your vaccine?
That's right. That is true. Bad timing. Do ferrets cray? Are they social creatures? Do they crave interaction with both owners and obviously other ferrets?
Yes.
They seem to enjoy. But
yeah, they do. They do absolutely need to get 2 to 4 hours of exercise outside of a cage every single day.
Critical.
Yeah, critical. They have to be allowed out of their cage. They have to be able to run around and do their funny ferret things that like they fling themselves around and they seriously.
I really need a ferret. I think it sounds like so much fun.
I was reading the Merck veterinary manual about an hour ago just to see what they said about ferrets, and one of the things they said was that it was normal for them to, jump and run and crash heavily into furniture.
Real good. Okay. Don't panic.
That was considered completely normal. And yes, it is.
There goes the ottoman.
They literally randomly fling themselves around, and it's very entertaining.
A hoot. Yeah.
And those relatives that we mentioned, like the mongoose and the weasels and the otters, they do the same thing.
Oh, sure.
They're very playful animals. They're an extremely playful family of animals.
A meerkat type of thing, I suppose. Same type of thing.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoyed Meerkat Manor, and they were certainly playful, although they were also very specific and targeted on their missions. They were very serious about their business, where ferrets might not have that
ferrets
same level.
Aren't so serious.
Aren't so mission-oriented.
They've been domesticated long enough. They've forgotten everything that's important about survival.
So when you have a new ferret in the house, what's your first few months like? I mean, do they handle them every day, get them socialized, that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's important. And it's important to try to figure out how well they've been socialized before you get them, because some of the ferrets at pet stores that I've encountered are very nippy. They're very nippy, and that's real annoying.
Doesn't seem like fun.
And exactly. And they can certainly become a lot better. Yeah. But I personally never had a ferret that was super nippy, and some of the ones in pet stores are really nippy. And I don't know I think they've just been there too long and not been handled enough.
They don't really
suspect.
If you're nippy, you don't really sell yourself very good.
Exactly.
If you're at a pet store, take me home so I can bite you every day. It's just kind of
no, thank you.
How about diet and nutrition? What do we got?
Yeah, ferrets, just like cats, they are true carnivores, meaning they cannot survive without a diet that is very high in animal source protein.
Sure.
They can't survive on plant source protein like we can. They need animal source protein. They also need a lot of fat. And they have to have food available at all times because they are grazers. They won't eat 2 or 3 meals per day. They eat tiny amounts on and off all day long. Well, when they wake up from their naps,
Sure.
you know,
Absolutely. They're 18-hour
they're
nap.
18 hours of sleep. In between there's about 10 meals. So they need food available at all times.
Yeah.
High protein, low carb food. They are true carnivores.
No sandwiches, just the inside of the sandwich. So we're talking about like a pre-made kibble type of situation?
So, yeah, once upon a time, when ferrets were first becoming popular as pets in the 1980s, the best we could do was kitten food.
Oh, right on.
So,
okay.
More fat than cat food, high protein because cats are carnivores too. And now there are more ferret-specific diets, all different kinds. And yes, dry kibble is an option. However, I think it's a great idea if you have a very young new ferret to also introduce wet food, canned food, because when a ferret is sick, it's really advantageous to be able to feed them wet food. And if they've never been exposed to that and they're already grown up, a lot of them won't take to it.
Oh, sure.
So introducing that very early when they're still kits is good. Yeah. So, baby ferrets are called kits. The females, intact females, are Jills.
Oh.
The males are Hobbs. And a group of ferrets is called a busyness.
Very telling. That
Exactly.
Do they do a lot of do you want to supplement them with fruits and vegetables? Guinea
no.
pig? That's not even an option.
Fruits and veggies, no. If you're going to supplement them with treats, you want cooked egg.
Okay.
Chicken.
So very cat-like. I mean, everything is just, this all screams cat.
Yes. So. They do kind of scream cat. And much of how I would see them medically and surgically screams cat as well.
Very good. Speaking of screams cat, do they make noise? Will you get some kind of,
Yes, when they are very happy and jumping and flinging themselves around, they will often make this unique noise that is called a duke. It's very cute. And
awesome.
if you go on YouTube and look at people's ferret videos, you'll probably hear some of that.
I know what I'm doing over lunch today.
It's very cute.
Watch the duking ferrets.
Yes.
So you say 3 years is considered heading into geriatric?
Yeah, now they're getting old at 3. Okay. Yeah, starting to.
What are their needs as they get older? Anything you need to alter? Or are they just kind of,
No, they'll, they still need to come out and do their exercise. Okay. Maybe they're less agile, but they'll still get excited and bop around. Yeah. And what's great about ferrets is they are perpetually curious, inquisitive, and fearless, honestly. They are fearless.
And you put that under the umbrella of great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They are not afraid of anything, which is a disadvantage when they get outside. I mean, So when I was in veterinary school, I had a black lab living with me when I was a third-year veterinary student. Sure. And one day in the spring, it was a nice sunny day, and I was outside, and my dog was laying on the driveway. And all of a sudden, there was a ferret.
What are the odds?
There was a ferret sniffing him, and my dog just froze. What's that? Thankfully, he didn't grab it and shake it.
Your dog is not fearless.
Because he's not. He's not fearless. But at the same time, he had killed a woodchuck before.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was running, so he chased it. And what do you do what's a dog do when it catches something?
Right.
It shakes it.
No idea.
So so anyway, luckily the dog was laying down and he saw the ferret and just froze. Picked up the ferret, brought it inside. Someone from 2 houses down came and claimed her ferret who'd gotten away from her outside.
He wandered. So he took off.
And, this ferret had probably never seen a dog up close before, but it had zero fear.
He'd probably
He was curious.
He'd probably never seen a grass or a driveway before.
He was sniffing him, and he was, real curious, but zero fear.
Absolutely.
Zero.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah. So are your ferrets, we'll talk about yours specifically, do they have names?
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready.
Herbie and Bobby.
Of course.
They really don't respond to their names, but they do have names. You have to be able to differentiate.
I was thinking you tell them apart. They don't have to paint one of their feet or something.
Yeah.
Do they overjoyed when you come home? Are they happy to see you?
They're overjoyed to get out of their cage,
okay,
to see something new. That's extremely exciting to them. Sure. So, rotating toys or, just giving them a brand new empty box, not even empty, but, it could have like bubble wrap in it or something,
sure.
and they get really excited and start jumping up and down and like alligator rolling, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the most important question of the day, and everybody wants to know this: do they cuddle? Do they want to like sit with you while you're watching television and hang out with you?
Some will definitely lay on you and even like fall asleep on you.
Yeah.
Most of the time when they're out of their cage and it's exercise time, they're just too busy.
They're just too busy.
Yeah, they're too busy. Okay. They'll get into anything, but they're too busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm on the fence whether I want one or not.
And they are illegal in some places.
Oh, really?
So it's
Okay.
important to know that. Let me see. Ferrets. Farmers in New Zealand in the late 1800s had a rabbit problem. Rabbits were introduced by Europeans into New Zealand. I don't know why, but they didn't have enough predators. They became a big problem. Farmers demanded ferrets. Ferrets were introduced into New Zealand. They took care of the rabbits.
Yes.
But then their native bird population suffered.
Oh, geez,
as a result.
Oh,
So they established themselves. They've also been known in various places to interbreed with the European polecat and form a hybrid.
Ooh.
That then establishes itself in the wild and can be a
Science fiction.
problem. I know. It's one of those things. It's like, well, this species doesn't belong on this continent, and things get messed up when we bring them there and they establish themselves.
Yeah,
they are an invasive
absolutely.
species. They were brought to the New World in the 17th century, specifically to help protect our grain stores in the American West.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we usually think of cats as having that job on farms.
Right.
But apparently ferrets have had that job as well.
You can just hear in the 1700s, okay, what Yahoo brought a ferret over?
Yeah.
You know?
And so certain places are afraid of getting them established. So
Sure,
they're still
sure.
illegal to own as a pet in California.
Okay.
It's not illegal for veterinarians in California to treat them if they're presented with them, but it's illegal to have them as a pet.
It's a controversial.
They're also illegal in Hawaii, which I totally understand because the mongoose are established there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have a mon ferret.
Yeah.
A monitor. Strange.
And they're also illegal in Puerto Rico. Again,
Okay.
Similar climate where they wouldn't have any natural predators.
Yeah.
They're illegal in some cities: Washington, D.C., New York City.
Huh.
And they're also illegal on all military bases.
Okay, now all three of those are weird. I'm not even sure what to make of that.
I understand New York City because when you have a city as dense as New York, I think fire is a bigger fear.
Oh, because they nibble your cords or something?
I think that's probably what they're afraid of.
That seems a little overkill
That's
to
my
me.
guess. That's my guess. And I would say that rabbits are more likely to do that than ferrets.
Right. I feel like we should call Governor, Cuomo, but he's a little busy right now.
And I mean,
so.
really, the ferrets could potentially help control the rats.
Right.
Although
right,
their
right.
rats are as big as ferrets, so I don't know. Maybe
It's
not.
Strange. So, if you are looking to add a ferret to your life, where would you recommend you start? Because obviously the pet store ones, like you said, are problematic. So
yeah, but getting ones from pet stores that are very, very young and haven't been there for months.
That's a good. Okay,
would be
yeah.
far better than
some bitter old crone.
Some bitter old 1-year-old. There are ferrets in humane societies and rescues as well.
Okay.
And what?
Reputable ferret dealers. That's what we're
reputable
looking for.
ferret breeders. Yes. Yeah. There are private ferret breeders
Absolutely.
out there. There really are. Ferret fanciers.
Oh, yeah. Is that what they call themselves? Oh my.
There are even ferret shows.
Oh dear. They're going to be wearing like tutus and stuff and like tiaras.
Yes,
Oh,
there are
no.
lots of ferret clothes.
No. Oh no.
Lots.
They must love that.
I will admit, my first ferret had a tuxedo that he looked very nice in.
You heard it here first,
He
folks.
also had a Santa suit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And he had a T-shirt, but he always walked right out of it. It was too big.
How do you just get like a sausage casing or something?
Yeah. Ferrets can go wherever their head can fit because they're so slinky.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So would you get ferrets again? I mean, was that a regular? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they're very, very, very entertaining.
I feel like I don't know. I might need some someday. All right.
I do consider them more work than cats, though. So be aware of that.
Cage cleaning is involved. That's why.
Yeah. They use litter boxes, but the average ferret uses the litter box about 80% of the time. They're not like cats in that way. They're not perfect litter box users. Most of them are not.
And we humans find that unacceptable. We like 100%.
Yeah.
For ourselves, we expect 100%.
Yeah. My very first ferret was a 100%, the rare 100% litter box user, and everyone since then has been slightly disappointing.
You were so close.
Yeah.
You were in the zip code.
Yeah.
Well, that is fascinating. I'm so glad we had a ferret day. We haven't had a ferret day on this show. We might again. You never know. Right. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy Florida.
Thank you.
We expect to bring an iguana back. I hear they're walking all over the place there. We'll talk to you soon. Rerun next week, everybody. Bye-bye.